Welcome to Tomo's Piano. This is the day 8, the last day of Learn to Play Piano in 8-day series. After this lesson, you will know how to play chords in different ways, like this.
Hi everyone, this is Tomo. Thank you for joining me. This is the last day and it's actually the 8th day. Today, I'm going to cover these 3 topics. First one, why is there sharps and flats? And why are they both necessary? And the second topic is different keys and chord progression. And the third one is playing chords in different ways. So first I'm going to talk about why are there sharps and flats. So the simple answer is we use sharp or flats because we want to be oriented with the alphabets first and know which notes to either sharpen or flatten. This is D sharp or E flat. So black key always have either sharp or flat in their name. After you learn all this information about how to make triad, the 3-note chord, triads, let's say C major, C, E, G, or G major, G, B, D. And start to realize the pattern. You take the root, let's say C major, the root is the first C. You skip one alphabet and go to the next alphabet, E, and skip F and you go to G. The same thing, G, skip A and go to B and D. So basically what you're doing is when you see the alphabet, you're picking the first and the third and the fifth alphabet and you're skipping the 2 and 4. When you're about to make, let's say, D major, you want to do the same thing because it's a triad. You think D and skip one alphabet, which is E, and you take F and A. But by now you know to make the major chord triad, 3-note chord, from the first one to the third one has to be 2 whole steps. So this is half and whole, half and whole. So it has to be this note. And from the third note, it has to be 1.5 step up to go to the fifth, because that's the rule. So half and half and half, that makes 1.5. So this is the D major chord. Now you can call this D, F sharp, A, or D, G flat, A. You can use both names. But if you use the name G, G is 2 alphabets away from D, D, E, F, G. And you get kind of confused. So it's easier to remember the 3 alphabet and then make it sharp, D, F sharp, A. So that's the simplest answer to that. Now the second topic, I'm going to talk about different keys and chord progressions. Why do we need a different key? Different key meaning we have a different pitch to play the same song. We can play the Twinkle Twinkle this way, or we can play in different keys. Why do we do that? One of the answer is that pianos often use it as accompaniment to the singers. And when the singers, the vocal range is either low or high, we want to adjust to play to their pitch, the vocal range. And I wanted to talk about the fascinating thing about the music. So even if the music changed keys, chord pattern doesn't change. If you remember the major scale pattern from whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. And as I just demonstrated, starting from the key of C, you're gonna play C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. The key of F will be F, G, A, B flat, C, because from A and half step up is B flat, and C and D, E, F. Key of G will be G, A, B, C, D, E. From E, whole step up is F sharp, so you have to play F sharp and then G. Now, when you play the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, the chord pattern, you can just watch this and hear me play. Key of C is what we learned, and you have the music for the key of C. It goes Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, right? F, C, G, C. And if you see this pattern, C, F, C, F, C, G, C in the key of C, if you go back here, the pattern is the first note, fourth note, first note, fourth note, first note, fifth note, first note. So 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1. And when you change the key of F, it just follows the same rule. F, B flat, F, B flat, F, C, F. So here, F, B flat, F, B flat, F, C, F, right? And for the key of G, it's going to be 1, 4, 1, 4, G, C, G, C, G, D, G. You see that pattern stays the same. This pattern, what we call is a chord progression. So the interesting thing about this music theory is that even if the key changes, the chord pattern of the music doesn't change. That means if you know the chord progression, if you know these patterns, and if you know how to create each chord, you can play music in any key. So that's what's really great about, let's say, jazz musicians. So they know these patterns, memorized in their head, like 1-4, 1-4, 1-5, 1, and then instantly when they see the singer who has a high pitch tone or low pitch, they can convert just like that in their head, and then they can change the key and play in that key. That's what they're doing in their head, and I think this is fascinating, and it takes a lot of practice. And now we're gonna go on to the final and fun part of playing chords. Yesterday talked about 4 chords in popular songs. It's C, G, A minor, and F. They have components. C has C, E, G. G has G, B, D. A minor has A, C, E. And F has F, A, C. And I want you to remember, in music, chords, you can use any of those notes anywhere in this piano, as long as it's part of the chord. Some professionals use out of the chord, but for the basic. So let's say C. You can bring the C to the top and play like this. It's called first inversion because you're inverting. And you can play that E at the top. This is a second inversion. The same thing with G. We can play and bring the G up, bring the B up. A minor, and F, first inversion and second inversion. You can play in any of those order. For this pattern, let's see how we can change. Instead of playing C, G, A minor, and F like this, you notice that C to G, you have a lot of distance to go in a second, right? And you might miss the note. Okay, so C, G, A minor, F, you're following this way. C, E, G, G, B, D, A, C, E, F, A, C. So I'm playing from top to bottom. So after the C major, instead of going over here, you can bring the G over here, because you're already playing the G from the C. And you can play, and then you go down 1, right? And instead of going 2 steps down, since we are already playing A and C, and it's part of the F chord, you can bring the F over here. So when I play from, and you just move the thumb. Originally we played, but now we can play so with a less effort of moving around, we can have the same sound quality. Well, not exactly the same, but we can get the same chord to play the same music. So that's one of the interesting ways to play. And for the final project, I want to explore playing the song Let It Be. I'm gonna post the music so you can practice the melody with your right hand and playing the chord with the left hand. It will sound like this. The left hand follows these chord progression. So that's one way of playing. That's the basic way that we've been working on. So let's say you're singing or somebody's singing and you are accompanying. If somebody's singing, that means they're playing the melody. So you don't have to play the melody anymore. So what you focus is your right hand and left hand are free to play the chords. In which case, you can be creative as much as you want. Your left hand can play those notes, the root notes. And then the right hand can follow the chord. It sounds more interesting because it's just expanded the range of the sound. You can arrange this in a different way. When you're playing on your right hand, instead of this, why don't we try to put the C up here? So instead of, you're gonna play the first inversion, right? And instead of, we're gonna bring the G over here. So the G will come over here. And the next one, but we're gonna invert it, right? And that can be, so we're doing the first inversion for all these first four. We're following this way, okay? C, G, A minor, F. It doesn't look like C anymore because we inverted, but essentially the components of the chord are the same. And I would keep it, the C, the next C is the same thing. But next one, I want to change to the second inversion. So from here, I can just go here. I'm going to change this one into second inversion. You're bringing all this up. And then back to C. So you can change to like this by following the left hand can just play the root. And you can even change the rhythm. So you're gonna do like double time on the right hand. Maybe left hand can do something different, like you can even add another octave and play the same note 8 notes under, so C and C. Then it sounds like this. That sounds more interesting than the first one, yes? In between, you can also add a little component such as, and from here, you know you're going to F next, right? So you can do, right? And then, you are going from C to G. Next one is G. You can play to just add the flavor. And then the last one, this is just the right hand. From here, you're gonna go back to here. What you can do, next note ends with E, so you can play like that. And left hand can also do, and you're going down to C. So it sounds like, and you can also add the pedal, which kind of creates more dramatic effect. And to play the pedal, this is called sustaining pedal. When you press, it elongates the note. But when you press, and then it kind of muddles the sound if you keep on pressing and playing. So every time you change that chord, you have to re-step again. So it sustains until you go to the next note. So with the pedal, it sounds like this. So now, with all the knowledge that you have, you can create and make the music more fun And I hope you enjoyed this lesson and learned a little bit about how you can improvise and make the music more fun with the rhythm, adding more notes into the playing chords. I know it's challenging, but keep on playing, keep on being curious with music. Music's for everyone to enjoy. Until next time, bye. Thank you. Bye.